Hi, greetings everyone. In this video, we will see how to create a recurring task. A recurring task is a work that occurs on a regular schedule. In Project, you can set up a recurring task by giving Project the basic info about the frequency and other settings. The program then creates the individual occurrences and a summary task to hold them all. In this case, we are going to add a recurring task right before determining the course dates, start and end times and the locations. So I scroll down here and select determine course date, start, end times and locations. And then on the task tab here, I'll click on the bottom half of the task button in the insert section and say recurring task. So here is my dialog box opened which says recurring task information. The first thing you do in this dialog box is name the task. So I'll name it as regular, or I'll say timely reviews. You can see the duration is set by default to 1 day. That's the duration of a single occurrence. So in this case, it's a review meeting. So I'll change that to 2 hours. The next section, recurrence pattern, basically tells the project when this task is going to occur. Now one thing to keep in mind is that you want to keep recurring the tasks to a minimum, and one of the reasons is it makes it really hard for the project to level resources assignment when you have recurring tasks. So if you have something that recurs really frequently, like on a daily basis, instead of doing a recurring task, you might actually be better off just including that time in your regular work tasks. Just add the time for those daily reviews into the tasks for the work you do every day. But in this case, we are going to do a monthly project review. Well, if you do a daily recurrence pattern, you can tell it how many days you want to do every, say, 4 days, or if you do weekly, you can tell it which days of week, maybe a Monday and a Wednesday. And we will do for every 2 weeks. Or for our monthly project reviews, choose the monthly option. And in that case, you can tell it which day of month, such as 10th, or you can set it to be something like the second Wednesday. If you are going to do a quarterly meeting, you could actually change this to every 3 months. So here you can change this to every 3 months here. But we are going to do this monthly. So we'll leave it at 1. Yearly is very similar to monthly. Now the next section, the range of the occurrence, that's when it starts and when it finishes. Well, you can see it starts here at the project start date, which is the perfect, and it actually ends by the project end date. If you want, or you can tell the project that you want a certain number of occurrences. In that case, you select the end after option and tell it how many times you want it to happen. Say I want it 4 times. So then I click on OK, and the project adds all the individual occurrences here, and the project adds all the individual occurrences as well as the summary task to hold them. So you can see the individual occurrences have day constraints because they are set for specific days. You can also see that the summary task has this indicator, 2 arrows pointing at each other. So here, do we see this symbol? And that means that's a recurring task. And if you point at that indicator, it tells you how many times it occurs and the start and the finish date. So here if you see, this task occurs 4 times between Thursday and Wednesday, and choose the auto scheduled. Well, if you don't want to see rows for all the subtasks, you can click this black triangle and collapse the summary task. And over in the time scale, you can see them in the summary task. And you can also see the ones for the individual occurrences. One thing to keep in mind is that the dates don't change automatically if your project gets longer. Well, let's say that the project was delayed. Project is not going to automatically extend this recurring task to include additional occurrences. So you would have to create a new task for the additional occurrences. Creating a recurring task is an easy way to set up several individual tasks that reoccur on a regular schedule. I hope the concept is clear to you. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.